A well-known defense attorney walks into Judge Caprio's courtroom with his wealthy client. Both are smiling, whispering to each other, and treating the hearing like a formality they've already won. The charge? Reckless driving, an act that almost cost a family their lives. The attorney, famous for protecting the privileged, is confident. His client, a trust fund heir who's never faced real consequences, seems equally sure of victory. But what neither of them realize is that they're about to test Judge Frank Caprio's patience in a way few ever have. And when this judge reaches his limit, the outcome can change careers. Before we get into it, hit subscribe, because 97% of viewers still haven't. This case is a perfect example of how arrogance in court can ruin everything. By the end of this video, you'll see a 500-an-hour attorney lose his credibility, and his client lose his freedom, all because they ignored one simple truth: never mock the judge. Now, here's the question. What happens when a lawyer believes he's smarter than the system? You're about to find out. Friday morning, 11:20 a.m. The court calls the case of Marcus Aldridge. Represented by attorney Jonathan Prescott, Marcus Aldridge, 28, enters the courtroom in a tailored suit worth more than most people's monthly rent. Designer sunglasses rest on his head, a Rolex glints on his wrist, and his confident stride shows he's someone unaccustomed to hearing the word no. Walking closely behind is his attorney, Jonathan Prescott, 45, from Prescott & Associates, one of Providence's priciest defense firms. His appearance is immaculate. Custom suit, polished leather briefcase, and an air of superiority that speaks louder than words. As they approach the bench, something feels off. They lean toward each other, whispering and sharing quiet smirks. This is a courtroom, not a private club. Judge Caprio looks up. Mr. Aldridge, Attorney Prescott, good morning. Prescott responds with restrained courtesy, his tone edged with arrogance. Good morning, Your Honor. We're here to address what I believe is a severely overstated reckless driving charge. Severely overstated, Judge Caprio repeats evenly. Mr. Prescott, before we entertain your view of the charges, let's review the facts. He glances at the file. Mr. Aldridge, you stand accused of reckless driving, excessive speed, 95 in a 35 zone, running a red light and leaving the scene. Is that correct? Marcus leans in, whispering something to his attorney. Both struggle to suppress their amusement. Judge Caprio takes notice. Mr. Aldridge, do you have something to share with the court? No, Your Honor, Marcus replies, smirk still firmly in place. Prescott steps in confidently. Your Honor, my client was simply confirming details with me. Regarding the charges, we intend to provide context that may alter how this situation is perceived. Judge Caprio nods. I'm listening, Mr. Prescott. Your Honor, he continues, my client is a graduate student at Brown University, pursuing a degree in neuroscience. He was driving home from the library late at night when he believed he was facing a medical emergency that required an immediate response. Judge Caprio raises an eyebrow. A medical emergency? Yes, Your Honor. His mother had called, complaining of chest pain. My client, recognizing the signs of possible cardiac arrest, decided to reach her as quickly as possible, potentially saving her life. It sounds plausible, until Judge Caprio reviews the police report. Mr. Prescott, he says evenly, according to Officer Martinez, your client was stopped 3 miles from a nightclub at 2:15 a.m., not leaving a library. His mother was contacted and confirmed she made no such call and has no heart problems. Furthermore, your client's blood alcohol level was recorded at 0.09, slightly above the legal limit. A quiet murmur spreads through the courtroom. Prescott remains composed. Your Honor, he replies, we are challenging the accuracy of the breathalyzer results. My client had recently used an alcohol-based mouthwash which can produce a false reading. Marcus leans toward Prescott and whispers something. Both exchange a brief smile. Judge Caprio's tone hardens. Mr. Aldridge, he says firmly, I'll ask you directly. Why do you and your attorney find this matter humorous? Marcus straightens up, trying to appear serious, but doesn't quite manage it. I don't find it funny, Your Honor. I just think this entire case is ridiculous. Terrible choice of words. A career-ending one. Subscribe to Judge Stories if you believe attorneys should defend their clients, not ridicule the court. Judge Caprio cues up the dash cam footage. Let's review what Officer Martinez witnessed that night. The video shows Marcus's Porsche swerving through lanes at alarming speed. blowing through a red light and nearly colliding with a minivan carrying a family. The minivan jerks away, narrowly missing a utility pole. Marcus keeps driving, never even slowing down. The courtroom falls silent. This wasn't a man rushing to a family emergency. This was someone driving intoxicated and dangerously. Mr. Prescott, the judge says, that minivan held a family of 4, 2 of them small children. Your client missed them by inches. Prescott shows no emotion. Your Honor, the footage clearly indicates my client maintained control of his car at all times. No collision occurred. No collision, Judge Caprio replies, only because the other driver swerved to avoid impact. Your client drove them off the road. With all due respect, Your Honor, drove off the road is overstated. My client merely passed another vehicle while exercising his right to what, Mr. Prescott? The judge interrupts. To drive drunk at 95 miles per hour through a neighborhood? Marcus leans in and quietly whispers something to Prescott. Whatever he says makes Prescott suppress a grin. Judge Caprio slams his hand on the bench. Mr. Aldridge, Mr. Prescott, what's so entertaining that you're whispering and smiling? During a case about you nearly causing a fatal accident? Prescott straightens, his professional composure returning. Your Honor, I apologize if our attorney-client discussion appeared disrespectful. That was never our intention. Then what was the intention, Mr. Prescott? Because from where I sit, you and your client seem to find this courtroom amusing. Your Honor, we're simply confident in our defense. My client made a lapse in judgment, but no harm was done. We're willing to accept a lesser charge of improper lane usage, pay a small fine, and move on. The arrogance is astonishing. Judge Caprio fixes his eyes on him. You're prepared to accept, Mr. Prescott? You don't set the terms in this courtroom. Of course not, Your Honor, Prescott replies. I'm only suggesting a fair resolution that serves justice without needless delay. Marcus leans over again, his whisper just loud enough for the microphone to catch. This is taking forever. I have plans at 3. The courtroom falls completely silent. The warmth usually seen in Judge Caprio's face disappears. Mr. Aldridge, he says coldly. Did you just say you have plans at 3? Marcus freezes, realizing his mistake, but tries to brush it off. Judge Caprio, Your Honor, I just want to clarify. You meant that this court hearing, addressing charges that could have easily led to multiple deaths, is interrupting your social plans? Prescott, defense attorney. Your Honor, my client simply misspoke under stress. Judge Caprio misspoke or revealed exactly what you both really think of this courtroom. Judge Caprio rises from his seat. The room instantly falls silent, aware that something serious is about to unfold. Judge Caprio, Mr. Prescott, in my 35 years on this bench, I've seen all kinds of defense attorneys, skilled ones, inexperienced ones, aggressive and mild, but rarely one who's shown such open disregard for the integrity of this court. Prescott, Your Honor, I meant no disrespect. Judge Caprio, you entered this courtroom with a false story about a mother's heart attack. When that lie was uncovered, you switched to another excuse, mouthwash supposedly skewing the breathalyzer results. And throughout this proceeding, you and your client have been whispering and smiling as if this were some form of entertainment. Prescott's composed expression begins to falter. Prescott, with all due respect, Your Honor, passionate defense is not contempt. Judge Caprio, passionate defense. Mr. Prescott, let's be clear. Lying to the court is not passionate defense. Coaching your client to fake emergencies is not passionate defense. And treating a case that could have killed people as a mere inconvenience is most definitely not passionate defense. The prosecutor stands. Prosecutor, Your Honor, if I may add to the record, this is Mr. Aldridge's 3rd reckless driving charge in just 2 years. The last 2 cases were both handled by Mr. Prescott and conveniently downgraded to minor violations with small fines. It seems we're witnessing a pattern of this attorney manipulating the system for wealthy clients. Prescott's face reddens. Prescott, Your Honor, that's an unfounded accusation. Judge Caprio, is it unfounded, Mr. Prescott, or is it simply true? Before Prescott can respond, Marcus Aldridge, the defendant, interrupts with astonishing arrogance. Marcus, Your Honor, I pay my lawyer well to deliver results. That's how the system works, the courtroom gasps. Even Prescott looks stunned that his client said that out loud. Judge Caprio, coldly, that's how the system works? Mr. Aldridge, you believe justice can be bought? You think paying a $500 an hour lawyer gives you the right to endanger lives and walk away with a slap on the wrist? Your Honor, I didn't mean. You meant exactly what you said. And Mr. Prescott, your client just openly admitted that you've been influencing outcomes for payment. Do you care to respond? Prescott stumbles. Your Honor, my client clearly isn't expressing himself well under pressure. Oh, I think he expressed himself just fine. To both of you, this courtroom is nothing but a game, a privileged young man who's never faced real consequences, and a lawyer who's spent years helping him avoid them. Don't forget to subscribe to Judge Stories for moments when justice pushes back against corruption. Judge Caprio sits down again, his tone unwavering. Mr. Aldridge, here's what's going to happen. The reckless driving charge stands. The excessive speed charge stands. Leaving the scene stands. You'll serve 90 days in county jail, with 60 days suspended pending a full year of probation, including mandatory substance abuse counseling. Marcus's face drains of color. Jail? Your Honor, I'm a student. You're a repeat offender who nearly killed a family and finds it amusing. 30 days in jail, effective immediately. Your Honor, please. Additionally, your license is suspended for 18 months. You'll complete 200 hours of community service and pay $2,500 in fines. Prescott intervenes desperately. Your Honor, that seems excessive for a first offense. First offense? Mr. Prescott, this is his third reckless driving case in 2 years, and each time you've helped him walk away with minor penalties. That ends today. Your Honor, I request time for my client to get his affairs in order before request denied. Bailiff, take Mr. Aldridge into custody. Marcus looks shocked. What? Now? Your Honor, I can't go to jail right now. You should have thought of that before driving drunk at 95 miles per hour through a residential area. Bailiff. As the officers move toward Marcus, Prescott tries once more. Your Honor, I'm filing an immediate appeal. File whatever you wish, Mr. Prescott, but your client is going to jail today. Then Judge Caprio turns his full attention to the attorney. Judge Caprio. Mr. Prescott, I'm also submitting a formal complaint to the Rhode Island Bar Association regarding your behavior in this courtroom. Prescott's expression fades. Your Honor, what behavior? Submitting fabricated evidence about a supposed medical emergency. Coaching your client to falsely claim that mouthwash caused inaccurate breathalyzer results. Repeatedly showing disregard for this court. And creating a record of helping wealthy clients escape responsibility for serious crimes. Your Honor, those are serious accusations. They're not accusations, Mr. Prescott. They're verified facts from this case and your previous ones. The Bar Association will determine whether your conduct aligns with professional ethics. Prescott's mind races. A bar complaint could permanently ruin his legal career. Your Honor, I was only providing strong legal representation. No, Mr. Prescott, you were exploiting the system, and that ends today. Marcus is escorted away in handcuffs, still shouting, "This is outrageous. My father will hear about this. Our lawyer will—" Your lawyer is facing his own troubles. Mr. Aldridge, I suggest you focus on yours. As Marcus is led out and Prescott gathers his papers in stunned silence, Judge Caprio turns to the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, what you saw today is what happens when people believe wealth can replace accountability. The crowded courtroom listens closely. Mr. Aldridge entered thinking his money and his high-priced lawyer could make serious charges vanish. Mr. Prescott entered believing he could manipulate this court as he's done before. An elderly woman in the front row rises slowly. Your Honor, may I speak? Please. I'm Margaret Chen. I was in that minivan shown in the video. My grandchildren were in the back seat. The courtroom falls completely silent. That man nearly cost my family their lives. When his car sped through that intersection, my son had to swerve so sharply we almost overturned. My granddaughter had nightmares for weeks, and he just kept driving. No stopping, no concern, no remorse. Her voice trembles. Thank you, Your Honor, for holding him accountable. Judge Caprio's expression softens. Mrs. Chen, I'm truly sorry for what you and your family went through. I'm thankful you're all safe. She nods, wipes away tears, and sits. Judge Caprio turns his attention back to the courtroom. This is what Mr. Aldridge and Mr. Prescott treated like a joke. A family nearly destroyed, children left traumatized while they sat here whispering and smiling. He pauses, his tone firm. I've served as a judge for 35 years. I believe in second chances and in rehabilitation. Most people who make mistakes deserve the chance to make things right. But I also believe in accountability. When someone repeatedly endangers lives and shows no remorse, when a lawyer helps wealthy clients dodge justice for serious offenses, the system must take action. A younger man in the back rises. Your Honor, I'm a public defender. May I speak? Go ahead. Thank you. I represent people who can't afford lawyers like Mr. Prescott. They make mistakes, sometimes the same ones as Mr. Aldridge, but they face the full weight of the law. No reduced charges, no loopholes, just consequences. He gestures toward where Marcus had been standing. That young man has been arrested 3 times for reckless driving, 3 separate occasions. And every time he faced little to no real punishment. Meanwhile, my clients, who can't afford high-priced lawyers, end up serving time for their first offenses. That's not justice, Your Honor. What you did today is justice. Fair and equal application of the law regardless of wealth or influence. The courtroom applauds and even the prosecutor nods in agreement. Judge Caprio responds calmly, "Thank you, counselor. You're absolutely right. Justice cannot be bought. The law applies equally to everyone, no matter, or it applies to no one." Where are you watching from? Comment your city below if you believe money should never buy freedom from accountability. Mr. Prescott made his name exploiting legal loopholes and twisting the system for those who could afford him. But today that reputation took a serious hit. The Bar Association will investigate, and rightly so. Mr. Aldridge believed his family's wealth and influence made him untouchable. Today he learned that the courtroom doesn't measure privilege, it measures conduct. Some might argue that 30 days in jail is too severe. But let's be clear. What's truly harsh is nearly killing a family and laughing about it. What's harsh is driving drunk at 95 miles per hour through a neighborhood and treating the court hearing like an inconvenience. Judge Caprio raises his gavel. This courtroom exists to protect our communities from those who think the rules don't apply to them. He says, it exists to ensure that lawyers serve justice, not just wealthy clients. And it exists to remind everyone, no matter your bank balance or legal team, your actions will always have consequences. Mr. Aldridge will spend the next 30 days reflecting on the family he almost destroyed. Mr. Prescott will spend the next few months answering for his actions before the Bar Association. And let this be a reminder to every wealthy client and high-priced attorney watching this. Courtroom is not for sale. The gavel strikes. Subscribe to Judge Stories for more moments when justice triumphs over privilege, when accountability humbles arrogance, and when the system protects those who cannot protect themselves. Marcus Aldridge entered the courtroom with a smirk, but left in handcuffs. His lawyer walked in confident, yet walked out facing a professional misconduct complaint. That day, Judge Frank Caprio demonstrated a truth every citizen should understand. Money may secure skilled representation, but it cannot purchase freedom from the consequences of reckless behavior. This is accountability in action. This is the meaning of equal justice. And this is why some judges earn lasting respect and admiration.